You know, Dan, I didn't know what to think about you when I first met you, but now I like you.
Yeah, that's how it goes for most people.
Dan, what do you know about the pyramids in China? I've always wanted to know about that.
The ones in China, I mean, I know the pyramid as a structure is the most sturdy thing you can build. So you would think that any rudimentary culture at some point would have discovered building it, right?
Right, because I heard that they're perfect, just like in Egypt.
Yeah.
But they won't let nobody talk about them.
Well, you're not allowed to talk about anything in China. Shit.
No.
Good point.
They just fuck some dude over. Well, I don't remember the exact details, so I don't want to speculate. But one of their influencers just got canceled, and I don't know. Like in America, if you get canceled, people stop giving you sponsorship money. In China, they throw you into the fucking ocean with a rock tied around your neck, right? So it's slightly different. I don't know.
We're going to move on to Bigfoot now. Because if you don't believe in the moon and all that other stuff, like, this is great. Now, I've got to know about Bigfoot, real or fake.
Well, you know what I do for a living? I actually take people into the wilderness and train them.
Yep.
That's what I do for a living. So I spend a lot of time in the wilderness. And if I had to sum up the answer to your question, I believe that there at one time was very likely a North American primate that looked
Why wouldn't there be?
very similar to what we say.
Yeah.
I think a lot
we
of...
have elephants now, right? But back in the day, we had a woolly mammoth, which is a much larger, hairier
elephant.
tusked, fucking curved tusk elephant. I mean, what?
So I think there was Bigfoot, but he's been killed out.
So they recently found a 30,000-year-old footprint in New Mexico.
Of Bigfoot?
It's a human foot.
Humanoid, yeah.
But it predates human arrival in North America by about double.
Yeah.
Do you have a photo of that, Bob, that we can pop up on screen?
I should, actually. Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, because one would think with a footprint that large, they probably put some plaster down.
If I was Shaq, I would dress up like Bigfoot and just walk around in the Pacific Northwest. That's all. He's rich now. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Why is he still doing TV?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Just go do that. And then he can make documentaries about Bigfoot and make money that way.
Well, you know there were giants on the earth. That is biblical, right? I don't know if y'all have read that in the Bible
giant.
or not.
Yeah, define a giant.
Goliath.
Like Andre?
If you go back,
Goliath was 9.5 feet tall, I think, is the...
Andre the giant was 7'6", I believe.
Yeah,
I think so.
Here's your footprints.
Oh, there you go. These are the Bigfoot footprints right there?
Man, why are the toes so spread out like that?
Yeah, that doesn't look that
They were
big.
probably just coming from the nail salon. They just had their toes done. And they still have those little spreaders.
Man, I'm going to tell you, looking at that picture, Bigfoot's alive and well.
Yeah,
well, that's 30,000 years old, they say.
Nah, he's still here.
Yeah, you think so? Chili, you think he's here?
Dang country's it's big, man.
Ross,
it's big.
in
If there's
2000
only a few of them, you think there's more than one? Or is there just one guy?
I liked Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah, same. I thought it was a super underrated movie. John Lithgow's really great in it.
Yeah.
I think there's probably 3 to ballpark it. For a guy like you, have you ever gone and tried to track one of these things?
I spent 2 years of my life trying to chase Bigfoot.
I figured. And look, I knew it. I got the vibe when you walked in, and I wanted to ask you about it.
What was the most compelling evidence for or against it that you ever saw when you were out there?
Man, when Bigfoot, from what I gathered, in the Pacific Northwest, that's where he's at. There's not any in the South where we're from. You have to go to the Pacific Northwest.
Well, no, Chili, that redneck fisherman that I was catfishing with the other day claimed he saw Bigfoot right there on the Coosa River.
I think he's just nuts.
I'm telling you, he swears up and down he saw him.
Yeah.
Well, the most compelling evidence is like a deer, will mark a tree, right? Yeah. And scratch a tree. Well, but you know what level that's going to be at, right? It's about human height.
You know how many hands high their head is, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And then there's Bigfoot tree markings all over the Pacific Northwest about double what a human is. That's the most compelling to me, but I think they roam all around there.
You don't think that might be a bear that's standing up on its hind legs?
Yeah, somebody would have killed him, man. You can't get away with nothing with these game cameras now, man.
No.
I just had this fucking conversation last week.
You know, man, I mean, how many people used to poach? You'd go, your neighbor had a big deer over there, and you can't do that crap no more, man. You can't get away with nothing with these game cameras.
You can't murder in the woods, dude, with the game cameras. Yeah, because they have everything.
Well, you need an EMP, right? you need the ability to short out any kind of electronics nearby.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of work to go through for somebody like me. Like I just that's not something I'm capable of doing. How did you get the name Chili, by the way?
Oh man, I can't tell you that. It's kind of like where he grew up. Can't quite tell you.
Chili's actually in the Space Force. He's Chili's an admiral in the Space Force.
Yeah, you spent some time in
Second division.
You've got, well, obviously. Obviously. How did you guys become friends? How'd you meet? In a chat room?
No, so
Yeah.
so I was running a
4chan.
I was running a 100-mile mountain race 2 years ago, I think, and I have done well when it comes to running really long distances. So usually when I go and race, I try to win, and usually I'm going to place top 3. A lot of times I'll get first place.
Cam Haynes ever beat you?
I've never raced against Cam.
No shit.
I've never raced against Cam. But, you know, Cam, I think Cam, most of his running is done to prepare him for elk hunting. Most of my running is done very specific to win a race, right? So I'm sure Cam and we train differently. But I went to this 100-mile race. I was there to win, and we took off, and we're running, and I'm running second place, and this guy, Chili, nobody knew who he was. He's just pulling on me the whole time. Now, it takes about 20 hours, 19 hours to run 100 miles in the mountains. The whole time, I'm coming through aid stations, and people are coming up and talking to me and saying, hey, don't worry about that young guy up front. He's going to blow up. He's running too fast. And so I just kept doing my thing, man. And ultimately, he never blew up. He ended up running that race, beating me by almost 2 hours, setting a course record that day for that race, all-time course record. And it's a very prestigious race in our area, been going on for multiple years. And he actually hung out at the finish line and waited for me to come through or finish. Now, take this in mind. It was 3 a.m, man, and he hung out there for 2 hours, waited for me to finish. We sat down and had a conversation, and as our business has grown, we needed another team member, and I knew Chili from us meeting at that race, and I said, this is a good dude, man. He's